Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shiva iti Brahmeti Vedantino Bauddha Buddha iti Pramana Patavaha Karteti Nayyayika Arhan Nityatha Jaina Shasanarata Karmeti Mimamsaka Soyam vo vidadhatu vanchita phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Soyam vo vidadhatu vanchita phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Madhya hridaya kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Ajnana Timirarunaha Harihi Om Tats Jaya Guru Jaya Guru. As usual, we shall have a chorus recitation of the combination of three syllables A, U and which in fact represents the entire range of articulation from the human mouth. Sri Krishna would put it as the Shabda Prapancha. Prapancha means the universe, Shabda means the sound. So the sound universe is completely represented by this three-syllable combination called Om. The effect of chanting or reciting or producing Omkara from the mouth is primarily biological. It increases the longevity of the heart, says a cardiologist in America. It has got the power to activate some of the special glands, secretions from which are raising the immunity in the body, anti-cancerous, anti-stress and strain, and also anti-aging. I am not thinking of it in any other manner, but all these are, though biological, in reality spiritual effects produced by our own sound. I would like you to recite or to utter this Omkara in chorus. Our purpose will be, we do it with the specific thought that this chorus recitation should permeate the whole globe and pronounce its benediction so that there will be greater and greater welfare of the human society and also the rest of the creatures in the whole globe. Let the minds expand. There is no limit for the mind's expansion. Sky is the limit. So with this idea, let us recite the Omkara 3 times. I would like every one of you to join me. Not follow, but join me. Please interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect. Close your eyes. Open the mouth and the heart alike and join me. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. It was very good, but could be better. I think all your forefathers would be greatly happy, and the succeeding generations would also be grateful to you for having given to them this kind of a bequest or heredity. Harihi, Harihi. Very good, very good. Last. dear and blessed children of Bharat and also of the globe. I have been appearing on this kind of a platform successively for a number of years. I proposed to Ravi Mehrotra that I have been speaking for quite a number of times. Why don't you try somebody else? But nevertheless, he has been asking me, because I consider him to be a son, a mental son of mine, like so many others. I cannot say no also. I am also traveling and giving lectures in different areas in India as well as abroad. This year in America we had a Bhagavad Gita Global Convention. In California, in the University of California, Irvine, a 2-day convention. We never thought that there could be so much of appreciation for the convention. The university hall could accommodate only 425 people. As in India, excess number of participants would never be allowed. It is all strictly governed by law. The door and other passages are only such that they will permit maximum 425. So we were wondering how to accommodate all of them. We luckily had an adjacent hall where so many round tables were present, and many of them could sit there, and if necessary we could have a projector. It so happened that people did not attend all of them at the same time. They came in a distributed manner and there was no problem at all. It was by registration, though with no payment or fees. The registration went up to 730 people, and I think more than 650 or 80 people attended the program. The feedback is that we cannot imagine that so much of appreciation for this Bhagavad Gita Global Convention. My main theme was a new discovery and assessment about Bhagavad Gita. What is it? Bhagavad Gita is not a religious text. It is an absolute war dialogue, presented in the war field of Kurukshetra, in between war events. The event before the dialogue was a war event. The events that followed also were war events. One fighter, one warrior, Krishna, started speaking to Arjuna, another warrior, another administrator, and it was a purely administrative treatise. It is never religious. There was no time for a religious worship or a religious idol or anything like that. The purpose was to activate the mind of Arjuna, enlighten the intelligence of Arjuna, so that he could take back the weapons, the bow and the arrow, and fight for the 18 days that followed. This was the only purpose. The dialogue was completed, and instantly Arjuna took back the bow and arrow, and the battle started. In such a situation and such a background, how do you call it a Bhagavad Gita as a religious gospel? Mahabharata itself is a historic narration of the decline and the fall of the Kuru Empire, which ruled the land for a number of years. It consists of 2026 chapters, out of which Bhagavad Gita consists of only 18. And the Bhagavad Gita dialogue was narrated by Sanjaya, the narrator, to Dhritarashtra, the blind king, on the 10th day of the battle, when he saw Bhishma fall, hit by the arrows of Arjuna. He was unable to contain the event, the outcome. He rushed to the blind king and announced it. Then he was asking, out of the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, the first verse is an enquiry from the blind king Dhritarashtra, which runs in this manner. My sons and the Pandavas, having assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is also a Dharmakshetra, what did they do? They certainly battled. But before the battle, was there any kind of a discussion in regard to the propriety of fighting with X or Y? This is what I want to know. I only said it by the way. They were asking me, the sponsors, what do you want us to do? I said, at least in half a dozen cities of United States have a similar program. So we have got a kind of a CIRDNA, Center for Inner Resources Development North America, a registered organization. This was done under their auspices. The Washington group also has taken up on the 9th and 10th of September 2018, there will be a similar convention held in a bigger hall in Washington. In all probability, it will be in the University Hall of George Mason University. I just mentioned it to you, by the way. I have been speaking about Bhagavad Gita for the past 62 years. Along with Bhagavad Gita, I also discuss the Upanishads, so many individual texts. I had a 3-day talk on Ashtavakra Gita, Sage Ashtavakra speaking to King Janaka about how can knowledge be attained, how can inner freedom be realized, and how can we develop the quality and strength of dispassion. Ashtavakra was answering these questions to them. Bhagavad Gita itself comes from Mahabharata myself. We have 2 epics. One is Ramayana, telling you about the prince and the king Sri Rama of the Ikshvaku dynasty, which ruled our land for long. That is the solar dynasty. And when it comes to Kuruvamsha, it is the lunar dynasty. The two are different. Generally, I speak about epics. Text from the epic. Bhagavad Gita itself is one. There are others also. Now today I am going to talk to you something entirely different. All our spiritual discussions are generally on the basis of epics and epic-like writings. Now today I thought I will talk to you about an event that took place in the kingdom of Kashmir. About 1400 years back. 1400 years back. This took place there. It is recorded in Sanskrit poetry in a text called Rajatarangini. It literally means the river of kings. Taranga means wave. Tarangini means where waves occur. And Rajatarangini means Tarangini, which describes the life history of kings. Mr. Steen has translated this Rajatarangini into English. Kalhana is the poet. His chronicle of Kashmir kings is considered to be the oldest and the fullest record of Kashmir history. Rajatarangini in Sanskrit, it has altogether 7,826 verses, divided into 8 sargas or sections. Each sarga is called a taranga, a wave. King Chandrapida, he was ruling Kashmir, and his ascension to the throne is recorded to have taken place in 684 Christian era. This Kalhana has recorded it very well. He says he has gone through a number of records, verified the data presented by them, put them to test, the logical and the test of reason, very scientifically, and finally he has written. It is like Kalidasa writing Raghuvamsha. So many people had written about the history of the Raghu and the Ikshvaku dynasty. Kalidasa also has written. But Kalidasa's writing has its own distinction. It is illustrious in every way. Here also, Kalhana is making this kind of a writing. He speaks about who should be a historian. What are the qualities and characteristics of a person who wants to write history? He should not have any preference or prejudice, any desire or hatred, any purpose of his own. His idea should only be to lay before the readers the facts and figures of whatever took place in the past. This is what a historian should do. Nowadays, there is a feeling that history should not merely be a report of the events that took place, but through history, there must also be a quality and measure of teaching. What is it that the writer wants the readers to cultivate in them? On behalf of the history, whatever has taken place, it should be an exposure and also an enlightenment for us. How can we achieve that? When history is presented in that kind of a manner, it becomes epic. The epic author always presents before you whatever has taken place. There is nothing non-historical in it. But he presents it in such a manner that through the narration, he is trying to cultivate in the readers the fourfold values called dharma, righteousness. Second is acquisition of wealth, prosperity. Third is spending the wealth to gratify your desires. And finally to have a redemption and rescission from all this. When historic narration serves the purpose of revealing and enlightening the people about the fourfold values of human life, it is called an epic writing. Now, Kalhana lists this is about the story of a temple that was sought to be built in Kashmir. Tasya, I will read the Sanskrit verses and explain to you so that you are properly connected. I will also have a feeling of light and inspiration. If I start only speaking in English, it doesn't sufficiently satisfy me. So, Tasya Tribhuvana Swami Prasada Arambha Karmani Charmagrit Kobina Pradad Kudim Kshetroba Yoginim. You should understand the authenticity with which this is written, and what exactly were the instances that took place. Any time in any society, personal stories are the prevailing influence. Unless we have something to cling to, which tells you that this is the metal that you really have in your personality. This is from where you have sprung, you have come. Remember this, especially on occasions of doubt, on occasions of depression, on occasions of indecision. Understand how our people thought, felt and acted. That is the idea of presenting history. Tasya Tribhuvana Swami Prasadarambha Karmani. The king decided to construct a temple for Tribhuvana Swami, the Lord of the three worlds. The order was given, and people were called to examine the whole land and find out where the temple construction can be taken up. So they decided upon a specific plot. Construction of a temple is not something very easy. It has got its own architectural science, evolved, preserved and mastered and followed even today by our own people. So they searched the whole of Kashmir and finally found out a particular spot for the purpose. When they went there to start construction, they have to proceed with the initial prasada, the work of the plinth. So he says, Charmagridu Kobina Pradadu Kudim Kshetroba Yoginim. There was a cobbler there, a leather worker. And that leather worker did not consent to that particular spot for the construction of the temple because he had a cottage there. When he had a cottage, what do you mean by his cottage? The land is owned by him and he has supreme authority over that land. If at all you have to acquire it, you have to acquire it by forceful acquisition. Otherwise he has to willingly give you. He was not prepared to give. And forceful acquisition is not right by any standard of judgment. What is the meaning of a title deed? You are given a title deed over a piece of land. That land comes to you with your absolute authority to enjoy it, to utilize it. sell it. Anything that you want. That is meant by a title deed. There is a specific act and a legislation for the purpose. So they could not proceed with the work because he was not willing to share, to leave his land. Shashwat pradishtutarthanam navakarmadhikarinam naisargikagrahagrastaha sutrapadam nachakshame. Shashwat pradishtutarthanam navakarmadhikarinam. When he was unwilling to spare his land, automatically negotiation started. The king's people, ministers and the others even went and tried to speak to him. Whoever spoke and whatever they spoke, there was no effect. He was not prepared to give the land at all. So they could not tie the thread to do the marking and excavation. So everything was in a standstill. Naisargika agrahagrastaha sutrapadam nachakshame. They were not able to tie the measuring thread. Many persuasions and promises were given, but nothing was effective. Vijñāpito thatairetya tamartham prithivipadihi taneva sagaso mene charmakaram natam punaha. When the news was communicated to the king, do you know what the king said? What you did is wrong. It is wrong. You should not have made any attempt to construct the temple at all there. As long as somebody's property is there and he is not willing to spare it for the purpose. So he did not say anything against the cobbler. On the other hand, he chastised his own ministers and the others, saying that it should not be done. What you have done is wrong. Taneva sagaso mene charmakaram natam punaha. He did not speak a word against the charmakara, the cobbler. Sobhyatatandhike desham apreksha purvakaridam pragevayir abruštvatam pravishtam navakarmani. What is it that you have done? Tandhike desham. He told them, what you have done is extremely wrong, blameworthy. Apreksha purvakaridam. You should have sought his consent, obtained it very clearly, if necessary in writing. And whatever trouble he had or whatever need he had, all of them you could have looked after. Who said no? But the consent was necessary. Without that, you proceeded. That procedure was certainly wrong. Prageva yair abruštvatam. Before attempting to do anything on the spot, you should have inquired from him and got the consent. Pravishtam navakarmani. Suddenly you have started excavating. You wanted to tie the thread. How could it be? It is something that I never approve of. What is the reason? Niyamyatam vinirmanam yadvanyatra vidhiyatam parabhumyapaharena sugradam kah kalangayet. This is the difference between mere history and this epic kind of writing. Whenever a person says something, does something, the reason why he says, why he does, is presented very clearly by the epic authors. Niyamyatam vinirmanam. Stop all activities, the king said. Yadvanyatra vidhiyadam. Either you stop or you go to another place. Parabhumyapaharena sugradam kalangayet. By robbing and stealing the land of another, what kind of a stain are you causing to my kingdom, my dynasty, my rule? I have been ruling the country, loving the people. When does a person become a king? He becomes a king when he is ruling a set of people. So the people are giving him the status of a king. Unless he rules the people to their own welfare, to their own satisfaction, the king loses his identity and status as a king. So I owe everything to my people, my subjects. Being so, parabhumya apaharena, I may be a king. As long as the land is belonging to the cobbler, Nobody has any right to take it away. It is clear robbing, stealing. By so doing, sukridam kakkalangayed. What are you going to do? You are going to stain the entire virtue and the virtuous character of my dynasty, my predecessors, as well as my lineage, myself and my rule. Ye drashtaraha sadasatam te dharma viguna kriyaha vayameva vidadvasyed yadu nyayena kodhvana. Ye drashtaraha sadasatam te dharma viguna kriyaha. What is the role and the duty of a king? To ensure that everybody behaves righteously and properly in the country. So we are supposed to present as well as display righteous conduct. And we are responsible for it. We have the authority and the power for it. So those people who are to uphold dharma, propriety and ethics, vayameva vidadvasyet. Suppose we disregard and abuse it. Yadu nyayena kodhvana. What about the people? Which path they will start walking? If we are violating our own standards of propriety, will it not be a sanction for the people to do what they do? See what the king talks now. This is India as I know. I don't know of any other India. This is the India I know. This is the heredity I hold. And this is the legacy I would like to propagate, disseminate and instill in the minds of the people. We are a great nation, a good nation, a very powerful nation. We have always stood for propriety, ethics, righteousness. Everything is under discipline, under restraint. We cannot talk in any manner we like, think in any manner we like, interact in any manner we like, behave in any manner we like. There should be a human elegance, dignity, norm and adorability in whatever we try to do. Ityuktavati bhupale preshido mantriparshadaha parshvat padukridastasya dudaha prapto vyajijñavad. Ityuktavati bhupale. When the king said like that, and there was a discussion, the ministers and the others were having a confrontation now. They were under the discomfiture. What can be done? When they were speaking in this manner, suddenly a messenger comes from the cobbler. Are you hearing me? Do you like it? A messenger, an ambassador comes from the cobbler. Arey, what is this? He sends an ambassador to see the king. Ityuktavati bhupale preshito mantriparshadaha parshvat padukridastasya dudaha prapto vyajijñavad. He came and submitted. When he came, the ministers did not talk to him at all because they have already been reprimanded by the king. So we will not talk to him anything either in the way of an yes or a no. They suddenly directed him to the king. And then he was submitting before the king for his awareness. Ichchati swaminam drishtum sajabrute nachen mama yuktaha pravesha asthane bahyālyavasare stu tad. And the messenger says, my Swami, my Lord, wants to have an interview with the king. If he is entertained in the court, and it can be done, he is willing to come to the court. For any reason, if you consider him to be unfit to be entertained in the court, it is enough if you see him outside the court. Are you following me? See, this has happened in India, you see. I am very happy that so many Supreme Court judges are there. The entire welfare of the country is in their hands in judiciary. There are many instances where the parliament is reluctant to do things because they will lose their votes. They want everything to be pronounced from the Supreme Court. Then they are saying, court, इस प्रकार तो कहा है उन्होंने, तब हम क्या करेंगे? So they have a face-saving affair for them. See, there was one, if I remember the name Jagannath Mishra also. Is it right? He was a Supreme Court judge. He invited me to his house. I went there, and during the talks he was telling me, Swamiji, I was discussing some point. Huh? Ranganath Sharma. Acha, Mishra. So he said, Swamiji, 50% of our country's problems can be resolved by the judiciary. Provided you approach the judiciary, then through case laws, they will bring about all kinds of statements that they want to make out. They cannot legislate, but they will do more than legislation, provided you approach them in a distress. Because court is the only redress for us. Executive is far superior. They have got military, police and all that. And legislature is only inside. They can only legislate. They cannot implement it. So, for us, the judiciary is the only protection. Not only that, you tell me, to take the life of a person, none except the district judge has the power. I don't think Parliament has the power. Executive has the power. Only the district judge can give a judgment, hang him. It has to be confirmed by again the high courts. So understand what is the power and majesty of the judiciary in our country. I think people are not aware of it. So, Ichchadi Swaminam Drashtum Sajabrudena Chayen Mama Yuktaha Pravesha Asthane Bahyalya Studad. And he makes a submission, beautiful submission. I am a low-born person. The cobblers were, at that time at least, they were a despised community and nomads. So they were going from place to place, place to place. They did not have any permanent settlement. So maybe the king may think that I am not fit enough to see him. Whatever it may be, I want to see him. It may be in court or out of court, I am ready. Anye Duratha Bhupena Anye Duratha Bhupena Sabhirdatta Darshanaha Punya Karmanino Vighnaha Kim Tvam Evetya Purchada. Instantly, the interview was sanctioned. He said, ask him to come. And the king met him very properly with all honor. Yes. With all honor. Punya Karmanino Vighnaha Kim Tvam Evetya Purchada. The first question that the king asked, after all, we are going to construct a temple, a very holy act. In the temple, you and your children can come. I will also go with my family. All people can come there and pray. And they only come there to obtain shanti, calm and quiet. That is quietude, that is what they want. So why are you causing obstruction to such a venture? Pratibhadi griham tachet remyam tavatatothigam tadarthyatam dhanam vapi bhuryevam chabhyadiyata. If you have any difficulty in this matter, tell me what your difficulty is. As much of money as you want, I shall give. As much of money as you want. Finish off. Clear the throat. As much of wealth or money as you want, I shall give. Tadarthyatam dhanam vapi. I will give you an alternate house. Build a house, a cottage for you. According to your own plan, your own style, your own level. Whatever you prescribe, I shall do it. Bhuryevam chabhyadiyada. As a compensatory measure, any extent of wealth you ask for, I shall give. Tushnim sthitam tato bhumam charmakaro vyajijnapad dantam shusutraihi tat sattvamanam jnatumivodyataha. This is poetry, you should understand. The poet shows his beautiful excellence in describing the whole series of events. Tushnim sthitam tato bhumam charmakaro vyajijnapad. After having said this, the king kept quiet. He wants an answer. That is what he looks for. Dantam shusutraihi tat sattvamanam jnatumivodyataha. The king was apparently waiting for what this cobbler will speak about him. So far he spoke, the cobbler has not spoken. So he was looking at him very intently to know what kind of a critical and evaluative remark he is going to make about me. I have called him, I have offered him, and here is now the occasion for the cobbler to speak. And he puts such a point here, Dandamshu Sutraihi. This cobbler had shining teeth. From the teeth, lip and the tongue, what kind of a talk is going to emit, he was wondering. So you can understand the hygiene standards of the people then. Cobbler also had beautiful shining teeth. That means he was looking after the teeth very well. Nowadays I find most people, you will find some kind of a scale is formed. They will never go to the dentist and get it cleaned. The blue scale is getting formed. You know? It's very important. So he was cleaning. Even with indigenous habits, we can clean our teeth, gum, etc. very well. Rajan vijñāpyade kinjid asmābhir yathāshrayam nasteyam abaliptena tatra drashta sadam sadatvaya Rajan vijñāpyade kinjid. My dear king, I am going to make a submission. I am going to let you know something from my heart. Asmābhihi yathāshayam. I am not an educated man, a literate person. Whatever comes to my mouth and tongue, I will speak. And I will use my language. I cannot be cooking up language for you. So I will speak in my own manner, using my own words, and I will express my own ideas and my own thoughts. Nasteyam abaliptena tatra drashta sadatvaya. You should listen to it in the same manner, reciprocally. As innocently I am speaking, so innocently you should listen to. As straightforward as I am, you should be equally straightforward. There should be no corruption or dilution in the matter. Do not stand by conceit or pride. Are you hearing me? What is this? This is India. Here is a dialogue which transpired between a king. Our president doesn't have so much of authority as a king had. The prime minister doesn't have. Nobody has. The king was his own law. Anything he could do. And that was the ultimate. Now before such a king, this cobbler sent a messenger and got an interview, and in that he is speaking in this manner. I will speak in my own innocent manner. Do not stand by any pride or otherwise. Just imagine, where lies better democracy? You speak that king's rule is not democratic at all. I think the good kings were ensuring the best of democracy. The court was open for anybody to enter at any time of the day. The gates were not closed at all. Instances have taken place where a childbirth took place. The parent took the child, the dead body, threw it in front of the court and said, "Your misrule has caused my child's death." This much of freedom our people had. When Dasharatha became old and he wanted to have a crown prince, he called an assembly of all sections of people. Tribal kings also were present, Valmiki writes. And he said, "I am becoming old. What shall I do? I want to anoint somebody as a Yuvaraja. What do you say? Do you have anything to say?" "Yes, my dear king, we only have something to say. Let Rama be anointed as the Yuvaraja." Then Dasharatha said, "Suddenly you say Rama? That means my rule is bad?" They said, No. Because you wanted to retire, you are old visibly, we also know. Rama, we have observed him. He was going on a horse to different places, hunting, etc. Whenever he saw an elderly person, he would stop the horse, get down, bend his head low, touch the feet and seek blessings of the elder, and then only he would go. Like that we have observed him on different occasions. We found that he is the best person to sit on the throne which you have preserved so far. When he called an assembly of the representatives in which tribal kings were there, what do you say about it? This is what Valmiki says about Treta Yuga, prehistoric times. And Valmiki wrote this. I don't know whether you will understand it. Please understand it now. What Valmiki wrote was concurrent history. It is not a history written centuries later after the events. While Rama was living, Narada reported that Sri Rama was there. He is only still young. I will tell you whatever I know about him. You find out the rest of the details. And Valmiki started writing about the Prince Rama. And while Rama was growing, all the developments took place. Valmiki was a participant even, you can say. So he was recording incidents which took place directly before him. When Sita was abandoned at the door of his hermitage and he decided to accept her and look after her, he became a direct participant in his writing. So it was biography to begin with and autobiography to end with. All while the developments and events and episodes were taking place. That is why I describe it as concurrent history. Understand it very well. Dasharatha called an assembly in which tribal kings were there. And he was seeking the opinion of the people. And the opinion was given. Then only he chose to crown Sri Rama as the Yuvaraja. Nahamunah shuno nasti kakustad parthiva prudhu shubhyanti vadyatat sadbhyah samlabesmin kimavayoh. He was looking at the people. When the king and the cobbler were talking like this, after all he was a king, the ministers, the military chiefs and so many others were around and all of them were looking. What? This cobbler is talking. They were getting nervous. They were getting restless. So he observed it and says, Nahamunah shuno nasti. My dear king, I am not lower than a dog. Kagustad parthiva prudhu. You are not greater than Kagusta. Kagusta is the one. The Surya Vamsha had its beginning from Ikshvaku Vamsha. You are not greater than Rama. Shubhyanti vadyatat sabhyaha. Your people standing around, why are they showing so much of restlessness and agitation? Seeing me talk to you, do I not have the freedom? Am I not your subject? Are you not my king? Just see. What do you imagine about this Chandrapida? What kind of a personality he has? How majestic, how noble, how great, how tolerant, how much of love he had for the subjects. He never wanted to suppress anybody. He wanted everybody to express before him. Jadasya jantoh samsare bhanguraha kaya kanjukaha mamatakhya ahanta mamatakhya shangubhyam eva badhyade. The cobbler continues his dialogue. Just see. And the king permits him, listens to him. Jadasya jantoh samsare bhanguraha kaya kanchukaha. Anybody who is born in this world, he has got a body. It is like a coat, a dress. And that is not permanent. It is perishable. This coat, kaya kanchukaha, ahanta mamatakhyaabhyam shangubhyam eva badhyade. It is just like a shirt being hung from two poles. It is hanging. So our body is actually hanging from ahanta mamatakhyaabhyam, ego and possessiveness. These are the two nails or two poles thrust into the wall from which this coat is hanging, he says. Ahanta mamatakhyaabhyam shangubhyam eva badhyade. Just imagine. knowledge is not reserved only for the educated. Knowledge can be had by anybody. He must be a seeker of it. He must be thinking for it, reflective about it. Our Raja is listening to him. You know, we have got a code. Why is Raja so patiently listening? Because he speaks sense. Adadida param vidyam prayatnad avaradabi andyadapi param dharmam striratnam dushkuladabi. This is the supreme code provided by Manu. If it is great knowledge, imbibe it even from the lowest born. If it is the jewel of a girl, you can accept her even from a fallen family. Antyadapi param dharmam stri ratnam dushkuladapi. Why are you looking for families? Only to have a good girl. If you are satisfied that a girl is good and virtuous, accept her, no matter what the parentage is and where she is born. Similarly, if a great knowledge is present even in a low man, go prostrate before him, seek it at his own pleasure and acquire it, he says. That is how the king listens to him patiently. Kankanangadaharadi shobhinam bhavatam yatha nishkinjananam asmakam swadehe ahangriya tatha Kankanangadaharadi shobhinam bhavatam yatha. For both of us, the body is alike. My body is made up of Panchabhutas. Yours also is equally made up of the same Panchabhutas. What difference is there? No difference at all. When the life forces go, both of them will be cremated. Nobody can preserve it. King's body, so I will preserve it. The queens do not say. So both are the same. In your case, your body is decorated by Kankanangadaharadi. You may have bangles, armlets and such other things. Nishkinjananam asmagam. We have nothing to wear in the form of gold. We are non-possessors. We have nothing to possess. Swadehe ahangriya tatha. But understand, the ego and possessiveness I have towards my body and the same feelings you have towards your body, both are exactly the same, no difference. The Cobbler is saying, Devasya Rajadhanyesha Yadrishi Saudhasini Kudi Gadamukhanadha Tamoristadrishi Mama. It's a very, very important statement. Devasya Rajadhanyesha Yadrishi Saudhasini. Yours is a royal palace made out of marble and sunrise and falling there, and they are reflecting. The marble reflects well. This is your palace. You know what about my situation? Kudi Gadamukhanadha Tamoristadrishi Mama. They belong to a nomad community, I said. Their cottages are made by grass walls. And for the window, they don't have any money. So they used to put the neck of mud pots. Am I clear? They used to separate the grass and put it there and then seal it. Put mud plaster over it. Now he says, though yours is a marble palace and there are a number of windows, sunrise entering through the windows. In my cottage, sunrise entering through the neck of the mud pots, there is no difference at all. Just see. I am wondering, do we still have people? Is there anybody in this assembly who can convey the feelings of the mind, the thoughts of the mind before any great and powerful man like this? Our tradition is such that it permits it, invites it, rejoices in it, delights it, encourages it, inspires it, and feels fulfilled. This is our tradition. Kudi Gadamukhanadha Tamoristadrishi Mama. There is no difference at all. Ajanmanah Sakshiniyam Madeva Sukadukhayoho Madhiga Lotyamanadya Nekshidum Kshamyade Maya. You know, your people have been asking me, including the ministers, and I say yes, no, etc. I have not surrendered so far. What is the reason, you may wonder? There is a reason I will confess before you. Ajanmanah sakshiniyam, right from my birth. This little cottage which I has, it has been hosting me, witnessing Madeva Sukhadukhayoho, like my mother. It has been participating in sheltering me for all the Sukhadukhas that I underwent. Madhika lotyamanadya nekshidum kshamyadaye maya. Such a cottage which has hosted me right from the birth. When I left my mother's womb and touched the earth, right from that time, it has been hosting me dearly without speaking one word of protest. Oh, I am tired, I am tired. Now when that cottage is being pulled, I am not able to tolerate it. I cannot tolerate it, he says. Nekshidum kshamyate maya nrinam yad veshmaharane dukkham akhyātumīśvaraha tad vimānacyutormatyo rajya brashto thaparthivaha nrinam yad veshmaharane dukkham akhyātumīśvaraha. When one's own house, residence, is being taken away forcefully by somebody, and similarly, when somebody falls from heaven, when a king loses his kingdom, nobody will be able to explain how much painful and tormenting the plight is. This is my problem. Only God can know how much is the pain and agony for all these people. Evam apyetyam adveshma sajed devena yachyade sadachara anurodhena datum tadujidam mama. This is my problem. My problem. Now you have your requirement, which is also my requirement. I also share in the need for constructing a temple. There is no problem. So with all these things, now we have to resolve the problem. How to resolve the problem? I have been thinking. The king, after all, wants to construct a temple. I cannot find fault with him. I am not able to leave my cottage. That is also so. But we cannot linger in this manner. The problem has to be solved. So what comes to my mind? Let me tell you, my dear king. Evamapyetya madveshma sachet devena yachyate sadachara anurodhena datum tadujidam mama. You know, I am a person of morality, ethics. I respect, adore and abide by what is right, good tradition, good custom, good manners, everything. So, if you come to my cottage and beg for it, I shall give. Just see. Are you hearing? Huh? This is India. This is our real India. See, when you beg, I cannot refuse. After all, nobody will take to begging. If somebody comes and begs you, whatever you have, if you are a good man, you have no right to refuse. A hungry man needs food. You have to feed him. When somebody comes and begs, it's altogether different. Then I am not a cobbler, I am not a poor man. Somebody is begging and he will beg what I have. So I am a master and he is a servant. I am the possessor and he is the seeker. So I cannot say no. This is the solution I have. Sadachara anurodhena. I am bound by sadachara, good behavior. So I cannot refuse it at all. Iditenottare datte bhubhrit gatva tadaspadam kutim jagraha vittena nabhimana shubharthinam. The conversation dialogue stopped there. The king did not want to proceed with it. And the cobbler has submitted what he wanted. They departed. Next day, with no qualms at all, no doubt, nothing, The king went to his cottage in a very humble manner as a beggar. Bhuvrad gatva tadaspadam kutim jagraha vittena nabhimanaha shubharthinam. He begged for and he gave. The rest of it need not be said. The king would have certainly made ample arrangement for him to live separately. The question was, he was unable to live. It was a psycho-intellectual crisis for the cobbler. Not that he was not willing to give. He was willing, but he was unable to. Like Arjuna, with 13 years of preparation, I have come to the battlefield. But when I look at Bhishma, Drona and all my relatives, I am not able to fight, my Krishna. Can you tell me how I can fight? Katham Bhishma maham sanghe dronam chamadusudana yushubi pradiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. Tell me a methodology, a method which I can adopt and fight. I recognize, I accept your words also, but how? This was the question of Arjuna. Here also, and he himself found an answer. Nabhimanaha shubharthinam. Whenever you are out to do something good, great and glorious, you cannot stand by self-respect, prestige and the like. After all, you want to build a temple. In building a temple, try to be as humble and as possible. Go there and beg. Avojad charmakarastam tatrasa Venjidanjalihi Rajan Dharmanurodhena Paravatta Tavojida. It did not end there. He has gone to the cobbler's cottage and there he is the master. So he can talk anything that he wants. He was already permitted in the palace. So he can talk further. So he said, Avojad Charmakarastam. The cobbler spoke to the king. Tatrasa Venjidanjalihi. Folding his hands. Rajan Dharmanurodhena Paravatta Tavojida. This readiness that you have shown clearly speaks of your dharmic adherence. I adore it. I compliment it. I bless you. Swavigrahena dharmena pandusunoho pura yatha dharmigatvam tatha tedya maya sprashyena vikshidam. Am I clear? Are you hearing me? Will you not tell as many people as possible? Go and Tom, teach your children like this. Teach the children. This is characteral elegance. The dignity of the human heart. The compliment it deserves from every quarter. Shvavigrahena dharmena pandusunoho purayatha dharmigatvam tatha tedya maya sprashyena vikshidam. I have heard that Yudhishthira was very, very righteous. In recognition of his righteousness, when he was ascending Himalayas, a dog started following him. All the others fell, and finally Yudhishthira alone was left. From great heights, a vimana, a heavenly chariot came to take him and asked him, "You get in, we are going to take you with your body." He said, "No, will you take my dog also?" He said, "Dogs, they cannot be taken to heavens, and Yudhishthira also will not be." We have heard it and read it, but today I have seen it as Shvavigrahena dharmena pandusunoho purayatha dharmigatvam tatha tedya maya sprashyena vikshidam. I am an untouchable. In spite of it, I have seen what is true dharma in you. I am very happy. Swasti tubhyam chiram stheyat dharmya vrittanta paddhadihi darshayan idrishi shuddha shraddheya dharmacharinam swasti tubhyam chiram stheyat. My dear king, live long and gloriously. Showing many other instances of dharma, propriety and ethics. so that people will be able to learn them, understand them, and adore them. Darshayan idrishi shuddha shraddheya dharmacharinam. There are a set of people always in the human society who are interested in embodying this kind of a characteral elegance, behavioral majesty, and interactional excellence. They are waiting for hearing such episodes. They feel encouraged, inspired, enlightened, enthused, empowered, reinforced. So they would like to hear. Give them more and more of such examples and let the society be benefited. This is how the episode ended. This happened something like 1400 years back. But the story does not stop there, mind you. Such people were there, about all of whom history has not been written. In the Ikshvaku dynasty, before Rama and after Rama, there must have been noble princes, but we don't know any one of them. Only when sage Valmiki wrote about the prince and king Rama, he became a legend. He became a constant memory and inspiration for the people. So what actual facts cannot do, historians can. Am I clear? Huh? In the absence of Valmiki's Ramayana, would you have ever known about Rama? Even now, many good instances are taking place in India, but we don't know about them. Only because of Valmiki, he anointed his Rama, his pen picture, put him on his lap, and then said, "Now, my dear boy, go and intrude into the hearts and minds of people. Rob every little dross from everybody's heart. I want you to do this. This is a mission I enjoy." It is that Valmiki who shines in Rama. Please understand. Understand it. Here is another instance which took place about 1200 or 1300 years, less than 1300 years back. The great Shankaracharya. He was walking in Varanasi. It was still the days of tradition. Untouchability was in vogue. So he found somebody walking there. Obviously, he was a man belonging to the lowest level. So the people around him, he said, keep away, keep away, keep away. Shankara said it, but he got a response. What was the response? Annamayad annamayamatava chaidanyameva chaidanyad dvijavara dhuri kartum vanchasi kim bruhi gachagachedi. What? My dear ascetic, you must have been a Brahmin and then a sannyasin. You are a Dvijavara. And you are asking me, get away, get away. Whom are you asking? Are you asking the body to get away? My body is Annamaya, made out of food and nourishment. Your body is also equally made up of food and nourishment. What impurity is there in me which is not in you? So how can you ask one body to get away from another body, and on what ground? Then if you say, I am not asking the body to get away but the jiva, is not the jiva in your body and my body the same? Are you not singing the gospel of universal soul? The soul is all pervasive, body is limited. So can the soul be distanced from any place? Whom are you asking to get away from? Body is the same. Soul cannot move. So I don't understand the relevance and application of your statement. Go, gachagachedi. Bah. No argument. No counter statement. Instantly, Shankara became introspective. And the man continued to ask, Kim Gangam Buni Bimbidem Baramanau Chandala Vadi Parapuye Pure Chandaramasti Kanjanagadi Mrutkumbhayor Vambare Pratyak Vastuni Nistaranga Sahajananda Vabodham Budhau viproyam shvabajoyamityabhi mahan koyam bibheda kramaha. He asked a very pertinent question. Kim gangam buni bimbidem baramano chandala vadi payaf pure. The sun is rising at yonder heights and it is reflected on the one hand in Ganges, holy Ganges water. Another, there is a ditch in a Chandala's house and some water is collected there. The same sun is reflected there. My dear Shankara, is there any difference between the two reflections? Boliye na? Huh? Kanjanagadi mrutkumbhayor vambare. We have altogether Panjabhudas, and the last is the space, the sky. It is very subtle, colorless, odorless. No quality it has. The only quality is it is all permeating, all permeating. So the Akasha is reflected in a golden pitcher and also in a mud pot. Permeation in both. Is it in any way contaminated by either? Then what are you speaking? Shankara suddenly got enlightened and he started praising him. Finally saying, Chandalostu sadudvijostu gururityesha manisha mama. When the truth is spoken and rightly pointed out, no matter whether it is a Chandala or any other person, for me, he is my teacher, Guru, I prostrate before him. I can quote other instances also where the same great truth is conveyed on occasions. Our country is a free country. We are people of the heart, of the mind. And we delight in the qualities of the mind and the heart. Krishna was asked by Uddhava, what is the greatest wealth? And Krishna said, contentment is the greatest wealth. My dear souls, understand this message, understand this legacy. Every one of you has a heart. Inwardly you are full, abundant, unsullied, uncontaminated, unbound, unattached. Our mind is subtler than space. Can it ever be attached to anything? Can any external product enter into our body to touch the mind? What are you speaking about attachment? What gets attached to what? Can anything glue itself into the mind? Can the mind glue itself to another? Our mind is subtler than space. By its very nature, it is asanga. It is the mind itself that finally becomes the soul. We are abundant. I tell the world, my dear world, you cannot add a speck of anything to me. And you cannot take away the least from me. I am full in myself. I carry this abundance, unquestionable abundance, always in me. This is the legacy we have. And here are instances where these truths are radiated and reflected even by people whom you never expect to do so. Knowledge makes no difference for the recipient. It lends itself to all people in this world equally. And it is the mind and heart that learn and not the body. It is not the richness of life that makes you a seeker of truth. It is the yearning of the heart. I thought I would share this story. First of all, I spoke about it in Malaysia. Then I spoke about it. More than 10 million people have heard me when I spoke about it in Malayalam, in Asia channel. More than 1 crore of people are listening to me. Every morning, 6 days in a week. They said, please speak also on Sunday. I said, let there be a holiday. 7.5 years have passed. In Disha channel we have been speaking, all the three of us alternately. I could not do it myself. for 6.5 years. I prepared the story for them, but I could not. So I spoke about it in Malaysia with special circulation, and a lot of people came. In America, I spoke about it in California and Washington, and this is the 4th place I thought I should share the story with. I don't know whether I have done something good. See, I am very happy to share this with you. I am a person who appreciates the good things in life. And my life has been very simple, very rewarding. I have never found spirituality hard, though I am a very austere person even by birth and growth. 62 years have passed. I lack nothing. I need nothing. And I want nothing. I have always been a giver. For the few years I was earning, then also people would come and ask me. I used to get my salary on the 21st of the month. So they would ask, month end everybody will be empty. So I have always been a giver. And I thought the best thing to give will be knowledge. So I became an ascetic and I wander about in this manner. I may not live for many more years. I am already 85. Okay. I have been coming to India for more than 43 years, isn't it? Delhi. Jamshedpur I have been visiting for 54 years. Regularly. Every February, only last February it was broken. So I thought I should share this information with you, and I do it with a lot of joy and feeling. I consider it to be a treasure. Mind is a treasure, and you have the treasure of mind. Please realize it, cherish it, nourish it, and use it as such. I embrace all of you. Let us go through the concluding programs and thereafter disperse. I would like all of you to sit in full patience until I get up. Okay. Samvedyavarjitamanuttamamekamadyam samvidpadam vikalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishtha kalanarahida kriyam tu kurvan agartrapadamedya samodida shri. Hari Om Hari. We shall have the conclusional recitation of Omkara. Take your pose for it and join me. Hari Hari. May you have all peace, contentment, freedom, confidence and clarity. May your life unfold itself to the best degree possible. Be fear-free, full of contentment and inner abundance. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru.